For Unit 6, Lesson 5, our objective is to be able to relate how the squared binomials how we can use the squared binomials to find the equation of the circle. And then we will also apply completing the square to determine the center and radius of a circle. Let us have a quick algebra review. Okay, let's try to multiply the following using distributive property. So for the first one, you have a monomial factor multiplied by x plus 3. By the way, when we say binomial, binomial is a polynomial that contains two terms. Okay? So for number one, we use the distributive property, meaning we multiply each term of the second factor by 5. So first we do 5 times x. 5 times x is equal to 5x. And then we multiply also 5 times 3. So 5 times 3 is equal to 15. So the answer for number 1 is 5x plus 15. Okay, for number 2, we're multiplying x by x minus 4. So just like we did in number 1, we use the distributive property again. So we have x times x will give us x squared. And then x times negative 4 will give us negative 4x. So we have x squared minus 4x for number 2. Now, let's take a look at number 3. So for number 3, we now are multiplying a binomial by another binomial. So x plus 4 multiplied by x plus 2. For this one, let's use the box method. I don't know if you remember the box method or if you have tried using this to multiply polynomials, but this is how the box method works. Okay, so we have a box here, a 2 by 2 box. Now, we are multiplying x plus 4. So we'll write down x plus 4 on top. And we multiply that by x minus 2. Okay. Now, to find the entry for each box, each cell, we will multiply whatever is on top minus times the side. So for the first box here, we multiply x times x. So x times x will give us x squared. Then for the second box here, we will multiply 4 times x. 4 times x is equal to 4x. And then for this next box, we multiply x times negative 2. So x times negative 2 is equal to negative 2x. And then on this last cell, we multiply 4 times negative 2. 4 times negative 2 is equal to negative 8. Okay? Now, what do we do with this box? For draw the diagonal, because that diagonal, those are similar terms, meaning we can combine them. So we have this box here, x squared, and then we add 4x plus negative 2x. So 4x plus negative 2x, or 4x minus 2x, is equal to 2x. And then you have that remaining term minus 8. So x plus 4 times x minus 2 is equal to x squared plus 2x minus 8. Okay, pause the video and try the next one. And then come back here and check. All right. So using the box method for number 4, we have here the x plus 5 multiplied by x minus 5. Okay, x plus 5 times x minus 5. And then we have x times x would be x squared. 5 times x is equal to 5x. X times 5, negative 5, it's negative 5x. And then for the last box, we have 5 times negative 5 is negative 25. Then again, we have this diagonal. So if you add 5x minus 5x, 5x minus 5x is equal to 0. So that means they can be canceled out. All right? And finally, your answer would be x squared minus 25. Okay, go ahead and do the rest of the problems. And by the way, when you see x plus 4 squared, this is the same as x plus 4 times x plus 4. Okay, so let's do this. We have x minus 7 times x minus 7. So we'll get x squared minus 7x minus 7x, negative 7, positive 49. Okay, so this would basically be x squared minus 14x plus 49. Okay, for this one, we have x plus 4 times x plus 4. So we do the same thing. X times x is x squared. 4 times x, that would be 4x. X times 4, that would be 4x. And then 4 times 4, that is equal to 16. So this will become x squared plus 8x plus 16. Okay, go ahead and try 7 and 8. For 7 and 8, I will not do the box method anymore, but you will notice that you will get x squared minus 20x plus 100. And for number 8, you should get x squared plus 2x plus 1. Okay, verify that you get the correct answers. All right, now let's take a look at the answers that we got for numbers 5 through 8. Okay, because numbers 5 through 8 is simply squaring a binomial. Okay, so we have here x plus 4 squared, x minus 7 squared, x plus 1 squared. Here, x minus 7 times x minus 7 is the same as x minus 7 squared. So if you will notice, okay, if you square a binomial, the result would be a trinomial, meaning 3 terms. So x squared, 14, negative 14x, 49. X squared, 8x, and 16, and so on. So the answer is composed of 3 terms, okay? That means you have a trinomial. And then your first term is always x squared. So the first term is x squared, at least for our case here. Okay, the middle term, if you will notice, the middle term contains x. Because x is our variable. And the last term, okay, the last term, the third term here, is always positive. Okay. Let's write it down, always positive. And how do we get the 49 here? To get the 49, we multiply 7 times 7. So in other words, this 49 here is equal to 7 squared. Okay? This 16 is equal to 4 squared. 100 is equal to 10 squared. And 1 is equal to 1 squared. So the last term is always positive, and to get the last term, you square the constant in your binomial. All right. And then for the middle term, so your middle term here is 14. How do we get the 14 from 7? That would be equal to 7 times 2. Okay. The 8 here is equal to 4 times 2. I'll not write it down here anymore. The 20 is equal to 10 times 2. And the 2 here is equal to 1 times 2. Okay? So that is how you square a binomial. Let's have an example here. Say, for example, you have x, let's see, x plus 6 squared. Okay. So the product is composed of 3 terms. 1, 2, 3. The first term is always x squared. Okay? And to get the last term, look, the last term is the square of the second number. So the last term is equal to 6 squared. 6 squared. 6 squared is 6 times 6. It's equal to 36. And as we said, it's always positive. Okay? And then your middle term, this one in the middle, it always contain x. Always contain x. And how do we get the number, the numerical coefficient? Okay, we take the number in your binomial and multiply by 2. So we take the 6, and multiply by 2. 6 times 2 is equal to 12. Now, look here. Your middle term here is negative. For number 5, the middle term is negative because it follows that sign. Here, it's positive. It follows that sign. Okay? Again, negative here, and then positive here. So whatever the sign of the binomial is, the sign separating your binomial, that is the sign that you will have to follow. Okay, so since this is plus 6, then your middle term should also be positive. Okay, let's try one more. Say we have x minus 11 squared. So we got here 3 terms. First term is x squared. The last term is that number 11, 11 squared, which is equal to 121, and it's always positive. Middle term contains x, and then we take that 11 and multiply by 2. So we have 11 times 2 is 22. And since this is minus, this would also be minus. Okay. And by the way, these are what we call a perfect square trinomial. So the trinomial that we got here, the answer for the square of a binomial is called a perfect square trinomial, or PST. So in this one, which of the following are perfect square trinomials? So let's take a look. They're all trinomials, right? Everything from A to E is composed of 3 terms. The first terms are all x squared. Okay? Now, if you will notice here, in our perfect square trinomial, we get the last term by squaring the second number here, which means that this last term are always perfect squares, meaning you can get the square root of them. The square root of 49 is equal to 7. The square root of 16 is equal to 4. The square root of 100 is 10. The square root of 1 is 1. All right? So, which one of these are perfect squares? 9 is a perfect square, right? The square root of 9 is equal to 3. Now, what about 20? If you get the square root of 20, you will get a decimal. So 20 is not a perfect square. So we can cross out letter B. B is not a PST. Now, letter C, is 81 a perfect square? Can you get the square root of 81? Yes. The square root of 81 is equal to 9. Okay? For letter D, is 1 a perfect square? Yes. We can get the square root of 1, and the square root of 1 is 1. Now, what about the 16? Yes, also. We can get the square root of 16, and the square root of 16 is equal to 4. Okay? So we are not able to eliminate anything, but let's take a look at the middle term. Okay? Now, for the middle term, what you want to do is you multiply that square root by 2, or yeah, you multiply that square root by 2, and you should get the middle term. So 3 times 2 is equal to 6. Or you can say, if you divide 6 by 2, that is equal to 3. So this one is a perfect square trinomial. Let's circle that. Okay, let's skip letter B. What about this one? If you divide 18 by 2, or multiply 9 by 2, you get 18. Or divide 18 by 2, you get 9, right? So again, that's a perfect square trinomial. Letter D, if you divide 2 by 2, you get 1. All right? So D is a perfect square trinomial. And letter E, if you divide 4 by 4, you will get 1, not 4. So E is not a perfect square trinomial. So only A, C, and D are perfect square trinomials. Now, the instruction here says that if it is a PST, write it as a squared binomial. So we go the opposite way. Okay? So how do we write down x squared minus 6x plus 9 as a squared binomial in this form? So your first term here is x. And then for your second term, you divide the middle term by 2. So negative 6 divided by 2 will give you negative 3. Or square root of 9 is equal to 3. And then you follow the sign of the middle term. Okay? Now, letter C, okay, squared of a binomial. Again, the first term is x. And then 18 divided by 2 will give you 9. And then for letter D, okay, first term is x. And then negative 2 divided by 2 will give you negative 1. So these are the squared binomial that's equivalent to the following perfect square trinomials. Okay. So now here is the equation of a circle. Now from lesson 5 or lesson 4, we said that the equation of the circle in center radius form is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Okay? And then when you write down the equation of the circle, you will have to change the sign. The sign switches because this is minus. So in this particular case, if the equation of the circle is x minus 2 squared plus y plus 7 squared, since you have a minus 2 here, it means that the center, the h coordinate of the center is 2. And then you have here a y plus 7. Basically, that's the same as y minus negative 7, which means that the k is equal to negative 7. So the positive 7 becomes negative 7. Just think of it that way. So the center of this circle is positive 2, negative 7. Okay, what about the radius? Now this is your r squared. R squared is equal to 100. So to get r, we take the square root. And the square root of 100 is equal to 10. So 10 is the radius of the circle. Okay? Now, let's take a look at the third bullet right here. It says, apply the distributive property to the squared binomial. Okay, so the first squared binomial is x minus 2 squared. So just like we did before, when you square this binomial, you would have three terms, okay? You would have three terms, 1, 2, 3. The first term would be x squared, all right? The middle term would be you take that 2 and multiply by 2. So 2 times 2 would be 4, and it contains x. So if that is negative, this would be negative as well. And then for the last term, we take this 2 and square it. So 2 to the second power is equal to 4. Okay? So that is x minus 2 squared, this part. Now the second part is y plus 7 squared. Okay? So for y plus 7 squared, let me put that plus sign. That plus sign is this. Again, we have three terms, right? 1, 2, 3. The first term is going to be y squared. This time we have y because your variable is y. For this middle term, we take the 7 and multiply by 2. So 7 times 2 will be 14, and then you have the variable y. Now, since this is plus 7, this should also be plus. Okay, and then for the last term, we take the 7 again and raise it to the second power. So 7 squared, or 7 times 7, gives us 49. So that's your y plus 7 squared. It's in red. And this is equal to 100. Okay? Now, next bullet. Rearrange the equation so that one side is 0. So that means we want to take the 100 here and move it over to the left side. Okay? Or we subtract 100 from both sides, in other words. So let's rearrange this so that this is equal to 0. So we're moving the 100 from the right side to the left side. Okay? And when you move a term from one side to the other side, you have to change the sign. So let me just rewrite everything here. You have x squared minus 4x plus 4, and then plus y squared plus 14y plus 49. We're moving in the 100 to the left, so that becomes minus 100. And now that we move the 100 over, you don't have anything left on the right side. Okay? Now, let's rearrange this some more because I want you to see how the general equation for the circle is written. And it's written this way. So we start with the x squared, followed by the y squared, and then back to negative 4x, and then the 14y. Okay? Now, the constants we need to combine. So we have positive 4 plus 49 minus 100. So we're combining this. So 4 plus 49 will give us 53. 53 minus 100 is negative 47 equals 0. And this is the general equation of a circle. Now, this equation looks different, but they also represent a circle. So we are given x squared plus 6x plus 9 plus y squared minus 10y plus 25 is equal to 64. So what we want to do is to rewrite this so that we can see the center and the radius of the circle. So how do we do it? You group the first three terms together. So we have x squared plus 6x plus 9. Now this is a perfect square trinomial, okay? So what we want to do is to write this PST as a square of a binomial, okay? Just like we did earlier. So what goes inside the parentheses? We have the x, and then you divide 6 by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that's plus 3 squared. Now we do the same thing for the y terms. We group these together, the y squared minus 10y plus 25, and then write it as a square of a binomial. So what goes inside the parentheses? You have the y, and then you divide negative 10 by 2. Negative 10 divided by 2 is equal to negative 5. So you have y minus 5 squared is equal to 64. So we now have written it in the equation in center radius form. So from here, what is the center of the circle? Again, take note that we have to change the sign. So this is plus 3, meaning the h coordinate of the center is minus 3. This is negative 5. So the k coordinate is positive 5. And what about the radius? So r squared is equal to 64. So the radius would be equal to the square root of 64. And the square root of 64 is equal to 8. Now go ahead and pause this video and do the same thing for this cool down. Then come back here and check your work. Okay, let's see if you got it correctly. So again, we group these terms together, x squared plus 16x plus 64, and write it as a square of a binomial. So inside the parentheses, you would have x, and then 16 divided by 2 is 8. So we have x plus 8 squared. And then for the y, group them together and write it as a square of a binomial. So we have the y here, and then we have negative 2 divided by 2 is equal to negative 1. So that is y minus 1 squared is equal to 144. So from here, the center would be at negative 8, positive 1, okay? And the radius is equal to 12, which is square root of 144.